the crew chief, race driver, team owner, everything else. He's going to work on the car himself. This man, really an anachronism, a throwback to the days of Barney Oldfield and Ralph De Palma, when the fellow would jump out, make the repairs, get back in the race. And the crowd here cheering him on. They love to see it when AJ gets out and starts working on his own car.
Drivers like AJ were famous for being able to work on their car back in the day. Can you personally go out there and work on your own Indy car?
I certainly could. I used to prepare all my own race cars back home in Australia, so I know a lot about it. If I could be a mechanic on the car, if I had to be. Obviously, we employ professionals to do that, so yeah, they wouldn't have me working on the car.
I'm fairly mechanical minded, yeah. Like, so when I started go-kart racing, or even when I started in junior formulas, I worked on my own car, and with my dad. That's kind of how I grew up with racing. And then actually my summers when I was in high school, I worked at a mechanic shop, and I would get the horrible jobs of changing full engines in road cars and things that would take me like a week. So yeah, I wouldn't exactly say it's a good idea, but I would be able to work on it.
They don't let me touch that thing. They don't trust me. Obviously a very different time. I can clean it. They let me do that. That's about all they'll let me do. They won't even let me touch a wheel gun.
I don't do it at all. They don't give me a wrench. They keep me far away from those things. I think that's probably the best way to do it. If you see any driver out here working on a car, you let me know, because I would love to take a picture of it and put it on the internet, because that would be quite funny. Most of them are just hanging out in their motorhomes and taking some hydration fluids, maybe get a massage. It seems to be like racing nowadays compared to back in the day.
None, which is probably just as well, because if they start letting me work on that car, I think that second guess everything I did, and rightfully so. And I think teams have evolved dramatically from AJ's days, and he's seen the transformation from the time where obviously it was all hands-on and he was designing, and it's all gone into engineering details, and it's all about science and gizmos and numbers. So it's those days, unfortunately, as far as IndyCar is concerned, it's over.
I could probably do most of it, honestly, and I'm not just saying that. I could probably do most of it. I've had a lot of experience. I tinker with cars all of the time. I love that. That's one of my, one of the things I love the most, is working on cars, and I've done it since I was a little kid. Something I'm extremely passionate about. So I could probably do most of it. I'm not going to say I could do it as well as the boys. The boys do it better than I could, but I could certainly assemble it if I needed to.
Have you ever gone out there and just, worked with it a little bit?
I have. 2010, we had a real skeleton crew. I was doing a one-off at the Indy 500 with RLL, and I did help assemble the car. And so I was there every day, helping build it up.
Nice.
I mean, they don't trust me with wrenches around here, so they would never let me do any work on my Indy car. Although we did do a video at the shop the other day where the 6 Andretti drivers that are here for May did a pit stop, because there's 6 positions that go over the wall. And I gotta say, Hunter Reay and I were on the front tires, and we were pretty good considering we've had no practice or training in it. So maybe not working on the car, but I think I could be in a pit crew.
You think you could do that fast enough?
I think I could do it.
I can work on go-karts really well. Go-karts is where I specialize because of these guys. When I grew up racing go-karts, it was my dad and myself, and I have a lot of experience that way. So I can turn a nut or bolt, but I will leave all that stuff to the professionals on my crew.
No, they don't let me touch the car other than to kiss it. No.
I've never worked on an Indy car. When I was driving, when I had a team, and now they don't let me near the tools. I worked on these cars. When Colton and I were racing, I did a lot of the work on the go-karts, so I know how to do some of that stuff. But really, these guys are so good at their job that I just get in their way.
When I was racing go-kart, I used to clean my own go-kart, work on the bearings, so much so that I made a big mistake on my brake one year. Putting WD-40 on the brakes is not a good idea. But that's how you learn, that's how you learn. Make mistakes. I had nobody to teach me. And I really enjoyed the mechanical side of it. Now they won't let me touch the car.
Can you personally work on your Indy car?
I probably can, but I will probably be kicked out of the team just because I'm not I don't have the handiest hands. So no, I'll just keep driving and let the professionals do the work.
On the car, physically, 0. Yeah, I mean, I know all the parts. I know I would be able to take some apart, but I would not be able to change a gearbox and make it work again. I know what they have to do and I know how they do it, but to be honest, I would only be able to change tires. Obviously, I think everybody's able to change tires, change wings, underwings, but the mechanical stuff like engine, all the electronics, gearbox, diff, 0.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I actually was bolting A-arms onto the car or doing anything like that. More back in like the junior leagues, I would kind of help the guys out in the shop, but at this point in IndyCar, you're really more focusing 100% on driving, and then obviously if there's a big scramble to get something done, I'll definitely get my hands dirty.
Absolutely not. I'm good at woodworking, but it's been a long time since I think ever there's been wood on an Indy car. So unfortunately, no, I wouldn't be much use. I mean, I can turn a wrench here and there, but I don't trust myself to work on anything that's actually is going to be dependent on for these cars to go 230, 220 miles an hour.
I would not get in the way of the mechanics on the IndyCar. I'd like to think that there's some of the stuff that I could do if I had plenty of time and had somebody maybe looking over my shoulder, but man, these things it's no longer like a hammer and, you got to get them right in. I mean, it was crazy over the last couple of weeks. A millimeter of toe in the way that the rear tires are aligned is like noticeable on track. So I'm definitely in the I work on some of my own cars a little bit. I like to think I'm kind of handy, but I'm going to leave the professional job to those guys that do it all the time.
Are you able to do any work on your car personally?
I mean, I can put gas in it, maybe change a tire. But anytime I go in like a toolbox to get a wrench for my helmet or something, everyone's like, stop, like, we'll do it for you. So I don't think my guys would let me touch the race car, and that's probably a good thing.
When it's over, one thing will be sure. He did it his way.